Hi, Eugena. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm fine. How is going the day today at the summit?
Oh, it's good. There's a lot of people here. It's nice to see faces.
Can you tell us more about who you are? What are you doing today at Market?
Yeah, so I'm Eugena. I'm the head of product marketing at Back Market. We are a global marketplace for refurbished tech, and the product marketing team at Back Market supports both B2C and B2B functions.
And how long have you been in the product marketing area, if I can say so?
So I'm actually a new product marketer relatively. The team is 2 years old now, and before this, I was actually a UX UI director and also dabbled heavily in design thinking and digital transformation.
Nice. And why did you make this move?
That's a good question. Let's see. Basically, I think my career path has always been just one where if I see an opportunity for a business, I'll try to grow that function out. So at Back Market, when I first joined, I actually joined as a UX writer and a copywriter, and I foresaw the need for product marketing. So when we were ready, and also at the time the chief product officer was also ready, I pitched myself, and that's how it happened.
Nice. And
Yeah.
so when you arrived, you were the solo PMM, and then you had
Yeah.
your team. How was the evolution of your role, and then building a team of product marketing?
Yeah, so the nice thing that I had was the C-suite really believes in product marketing, so I have support from both the chief marketing officer and chief product officer. We started out with just me, and then we quickly onboarded someone on the B2B side in the first year. And in the last 6 months, we've grown to a team of 4. How we did that was honestly, it was the buy-in from the C-suite. They saw the value of our work.
And how did you prove it? Did you like the panel that you
yeah.
were doing this morning was about prioritization and going to the right projects and showing your impact, and it's not only about doing things, but
Yeah.
it's doing the things at the right moment for the right business outcomes and consumer insights.
For sure.
So how did you manage when you arrived to say, okay, what do I do,
Yeah.
why, and when?
Yeah, so in the first year, we said that we would only work on brand new features or products, or really strategic ones. That helped us not only just manage like our time and bandwidth, but actually find the projects that would prove our value. Part of that also meant that really defining what it means to go to market. So we introduced the idea of a soft rollout or a soft launch to help understand if a product is actually right to go to market. And we also just made sure that the insights and takeaways, they didn't stop after launch, which I think happens in teams without product marketing. It's like we made a point to have insights at 3 months, at 6 months, and at a year to understand really what the impact would be at a global rollout level.
How did you get these insights? Like after the launch, it's like a specific feedback loop process that you created. It's
Yeah.
data, qualitative, quantitative.
A lot of it was with the help of product managers and the data team. So a lot of quantitative data. And then I think you're always going to run into places where the quantitative data says something, but you know that's not lining up the customer insight. And that's when we will look at the qualitative data. You should always be looking at both, but when you start looking at qualitative data, it's harder in meetings because you're trying to say, hey, this is how they're feeling about it, and you have to trust us that this is the right way to go. But that's really down to like managing expectations and making sure, even like not being super obsessed with KPIs. Like you should always have room for experimentation, taking risk.
Uh, did you work on some specific projects with experimentation that at the end didn't work, or on the contrary that really worked well and then that you could scale, for example?
Yeah. Let's see. So we're actually rolling out an A/B test right now. And this actually didn't come from product marketing, came from the product design team. And we had an insight that was consumers have a really hard time understanding how to buy refurbished tech because they don't know if they need to buy brand new, excellent condition, or fair condition, what that all means. So they're rolling out a design. It's actually live, the A/B test, where we basically got rid of all grades.
Okay.
So consumers don't have to have that mental load to make that choice. That was a huge risk design-wise. And we had a first initial test that I remember where it wasn't really performing well. And when they adjust the design, and now we're at a place where we can really just go all in on the A/B test. And so if we didn't have the support from even just design managers and people above of like, hey, let's take this risk and let's radically change our user experience, we wouldn't have been able to do it.
And it came from you, like you, the product marketing team, or it was
No,
like...
that one definitely came from product design, but we
Okay.
supported it.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
help. And I think that's another thing. It's like the ideas don't always have to come from product marketing, but you should recognize when there's a good idea and just help support that and back that up.
And that's how then you have sponsors,
Yeah,
and that
exactly.
you can get
Yeah.
the buy-in from the other
Yes.
stakeholders.
Yes, you can be like, because I support you here, you should support me over here.
Exactly. Concerning like your background, what like all what you've learned on your experience as a copywriter, UX designer,
Yeah.
what are the skills that are really useful for your job now as a product marketeer?
Yeah, I think without trying to sound arrogant, I know my strengths are around messaging and storytelling, and every product marketer is going to have their own strengths. And so what I'm always envious of is product marketers who are really good at numbers, because I wish I could look at a graph and know exactly what's going on, and that's skills that you can have time to learn. I guess I'm a little bit biased in the sense of like, part of me also thinks that cracking the messaging and the storytelling, it's even harder. And it's not just because you just never know what's actually going to work. And a lot of it's kind of like, how do I explain this? You literally have to stare at a blank Google document for like 5 hours, and then you'll kind of realize where the story has to go. And also your first version of the story or messaging is never going to be the right one. And you kind of have to like put it on the paper and see how it tests out. Because I even have a project around quality that we've been working on it's in its third iteration. And when I look back at the first iteration, I'm like, wow, I really missed the messaging on that. But at the time I thought it was great. And I think that's kind of the difficulty of it. It's like you can be a great storyteller, but it's always evolving. Did I answer your question?
Yeah,
Okay.
completely. And how did you know that like the first version of your first storytelling or messaging was not the correct one? Is like put it on the market, like a landing page.
Yeah, we just let it go live.
And then you
Yeah.
see and you iterate, right?
Yeah. And the best part's like when people don't realize that it was you that created that specific messaging and they just shit on it. And you just have to be silent and be like, yeah, I guess it was kind of shitty, but at the moment you're like, I can't say that was me because they'll feel bad.
Okay. And the last question, do you have an advice for PMMs who today are struggling in the prioritization topic, to be able to prioritize better and also get the buy-in on the stakeholders on what topic they should focus?
Yeah, I guess ask yourself a question of like what is new and highly strategic. And also if you're at a point where kind of like the work's not fun anymore, try to figure out which project would actually be fun for you, because that's when you do your best work. It sounds idealistic, but it's what I did for my first year. So
Thank you for
No
all
problem.
your insights.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye.